I'm aware of that. But everything after that, I'm not aware of any of that.
Mis-
And I think it's a
Mr.
very
Denali, Mr. Denali sent Mr.Benny
Mr.
a script.
Denali has, Your Honor,
Can I
if I
speak?
may,
May I
yeah,
speak?
I'm not
Mr.
done.
Denali,
I am not done.
Mr.
you
Benny,
already
I've
made your
already
statement.
objection. So now, political Sharif, I'm gonna ask you to substantiate what he's saying, or
Yes, I will. Mr. Denali sent Mr. Benny 3 videos of the incident that happened that day. He also sent him a screenshot of
Not true.
what Sean said to Mr. Denali
That's not true.
after the incident,
That's not true, Your
and
Honor.
the mission statement is public information.
Your Honor, none of that is true. Nothing else was sent to me besides the three.
we will go in a recess, and I asked for the both councils to meet me in my quarters. This is what we're doing now. Court is in recess. You two are with me. So what was submitted?
Three
Three
videos.
videos. Mr. Benny, how many
Three.
Miss
Videos.
Benny,
Mr.
Mr.
Denali, what did you send to Mr.
Benny,
Benny
three
in his
videos.
inbox? You're
Mr.
muted.
On mute.
3 videos. The screenshot was not submitted.
Okay,
I
so
also
this
stated in my testimony when we presented evidence that day that everything that I'm saying today was stated in that original testimony when we presented
Objection, Your
evidence.
Honor. Objection, Your Honor.
okay. This listen, we are in recess, so we can just
Okay. Well,
so
Yes,
the
I
witness
made
already stated it wasn't
excuse
submitted.
me, please.
in
It's okay.
our disposition, I stated all the evidence that I had.
Hold on. But was the evidence submitted to Mr. Benny for his review?
The screenshot is the only thing that was not submitted.
Okay, so Mr. Benny, what did you receive? Was it just the 3 videos?
Yes, Your Honor. 3 videos.
Okay, so the 3 videos are the only thing we're going to review today in court.
The mission statement is public. It's the mission
Yes, the
statement.
mission statement is public.
It was not submitted as
What
evidence,
is
Mr.
and
Benny,
it
do you not know
cannot
the
be
mission
admitted.
statement?
I have not
The
seen it.
mission
It was
statement,
not
the mission
submitted as
statement is the rules of
evidence.
the page.
It
The
was
rules of
not
the page
submitted
are
as
public.
evidence.
Y'all two, y'all can't be doing that, okay? Because this is getting out of order and out of hand. Mr. Denali, when we get on your page, does your mission statement come up?
Yes. Not well. Half of it comes up. The mission statement is on the page, but it doesn't come in when you enter into the room. But it's on the page.
So is your mission statement recited every time someone comes on your page, or
No.
every day?
No.
Okay, so
Well, no.
the mission statement is also omitted. Just the 3 videos is what we're going to.
Has Sean read the mission statement before?
Objection, Your Honor. We're not admitting any evidence that's not already in the evidence.
So what we're gonna do is go back, and we're only gonna review. How long are these videos?
They're like a minute. It's probably be a total of like 3.5 minutes.
Perfect. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back to court. Only the 3 videos to be reviewed.
Can I
Only.
make on the record that Sean has read the mission statement?
Objection, Your Honor.
That
Assumptions
was a
and
question. That was literally a question. How
objection.
are you objecting to a
No,
question?
well, my client is no,
That's
you
up to the
cannot.
judge's discretion.
No, you cannot enter
Okay.
anything for my client.
I didn't say enter. I said
Okay, defense and prosecution. At this time, it is so ordered. We're only reviewing 3 items, which are the 3 videos that were submitted and were able to be reviewed. Anything outside of that, including knowledge of mission statement, all of that should have been asked in during the case. You're welcome to ask your client or anyone about your client, Mr. Sean, about the mission statement, his understanding, and if he can recite it, that's fine. I will allow that. For the sake of evidence, the mission statement is out. Okay, now
I
we're
don't know.
returning.
I wasn't aware that Mr. Sean was being asked any questioning. The plaintiffs have already rested their case.
Okay, yeah. So then, mission statement and all of that stuff is out. It's just out. All of that should have been established by now. Again, what should have been established is the violation of the 14th Amendment which I didn't hit the violation of 14th Amendment rights, the First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, stalking, discrimination, and prejudice. That is what we are here today to, and the jury is here today to judge on. Okay? So let's
Thank you,
be
Judge.
about what's happening today. I'm going to judge on it, but what I'm saying is that's what the jury is going to be hearing your case that was brought forth again one last time. Violation of the 14th Amendment right, First Amendment right, fourth, stalking, discrimination, and prejudice. And hopefully within your videos, they can also see or hear that, okay? So we're going to return to court at this time. We only are in recess so we can clarify what was going to be reviewed. We already know it. There should be no further questions. There should be an understanding. And we're now returning back to the courtroom.
Thank you.
Okay, the bailiff has just let us know that court is now back in session, and we are now about to hear evidence. Is this on the prosecution side or defense side?
The defense.
Okay, defense evidence. Mr.Denali, XL, you have the recordings. You may play them.
All right then. Okay, so the person in the comments says it.
Hang on. Everybody mute up for a second. Yes.
What are we listening to? What is this?
These are the three videos of the incident that happened on the day in question.
Okay.
Incident where?
Okay,
What
this video is supposed to be what now? It's three different ones. What's the first one about? Do we know, Denali?
It's an interaction between myself, Miss Sill, and Sean. All three videos are pertaining to that.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the people that were on the panel that day.
Okay, go ahead.
That's right. All right then. Okay, so the person in the comments says it.
Hang on. Everybody mute up for a second. Ms. Sill, you had something?
Yeah, so I said I was going to stay quiet. Let
me explain something right now. I do not want Ms. Sill to be interrupted. I want her to say what she needs to say, and then if she's directed at a person, they can rebut. Do not interrupt her while she's speaking, please. Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Sill.
So I said that I was going to stay on mute while if Sean did come on this live, but I have to come off just to, again, reiterate my point that Sean is very disingenuous. He's not even repeating the things that he said on BA's live this morning. You are a grown man. You know very well what comes out of your mouth, whether it can be considered offensive or not. Even when I was speaking on BA's live, the first thing out of your mouth was, y'all always looking for things to be racial. And I tried to calm it down, and I even said to you, excuse me, wait a minute, what do you mean, y'all? And I'm like, because, again, we keep trying to have these decent conversations in reference to the things that Black people experience. And the first thing out of your mouth is always something to try to a dispute, a debunk, a rebuttal. You never sit and listen to what is being said to you, but then your defense is, oh, look at my page. I have Black people on my page. Do you realize that's literally the first?
I did not say I had Black people on my page.
I don't want to be interrupted.
I did not say I had Black people on my page.
Listen, regardless of what you say, you're every time someone has said something to you about you being disingenuous and you give off a racial tone, you always say, go to my page, look at my page. So anybody that says so first of all, let's be clear. If somebody has said this to you more than once, I don't think it's everybody else. Clearly it's you. Again, anytime something is said, you come back with a rebuttal, but you never sit and listen and say, oh yeah, I get that, I understand that. Even with this gentleman up here, who clearly he had a Hispanic accent. He said that he represents Hispanic people.
All right. A second.
always say, go to my page, look at my page. So anybody that says, always say, go to my page, look at my page. So anybody that says any, so first of all, let's be clear. If somebody has said this to you more than once, I don't think it's everybody else. Clearly it's you. Again, anytime something is said, you come back with a rebuttal, but you never come back, you never sit and listen and say, oh yeah, I get that, I understand that. Even with this gentleman up here, who clearly he had a Hispanic accent. He said that he represents Hispanic people. He's an immigration attorney. You went to debunk everything this man was saying. You had nothing nice to say, and you came in on the ass end of the conversation, but you still had something mean to say to this man, and you wanted to debunk everything this man was saying. We had a positive conversation with this man and asked questions the whole time before you came up, and that's why everybody's in the comments saying that you were embarrassing, and even the man had to stop it and say this is disingenuous. So at this point, we all have listened to you on BA's Live. You may not want to repeat the things that you were saying on BA's Live, but you were very comfortable. You were very comfortable on BA's Live in the MAGA community, and you were very comfortable with spewing very racial things.
I'm comfortable with it. I'm comfortable right now. What do you want me to say?
Whether it was stereotypes,
I'm comfortable right now. What do you want me to say? I'm comfortable.
I don't think you raising your voice is not going to make anything any difference. Talking loud don't make you right. And talking loud does not scare me. Okay, so relax.
All right. So
what do you want me to sit up here? I'm comfortable now.
1 second.
Okay, this is where I started my lives. This is where I started.
Saying in BA's Live.
Okay,
about how the black people in basketball
scared of heights and not.
Are you done?
Like I said, I'm not going to go back and forth with somebody who clearly, like I said, he's disingenuous, and whether he wants to admit it or not.
Okay.
Every time we try to defend yourself, you got cut off.
Miss, can we be quiet?
Good. I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
That's what I fucking just said.
What the fuck did you just say?
That's what the fuck I just said. You heard what the fuck I said.
Get the fuck out of here, Sean.
Well, then drop me, bitch.
See?
Boom! Now you're gone. You don't fucking come over here with that shit. You fucking show your colors every fucking time. Fucking block him. He's the first. Stop for 1 second. He's the first one to be banned from the most inclusive live. Ban Sean now. Any producer in the room, ban him. Block him. Don't have him ever come back over here. You can go over there with BA if you like to, but you're not going to be over here disrespecting people. Ban him now. The first one ever to be banned from, well, actually Big Nick was too, but he's the second one, Mr. Sean from Leesburg, Florida. Don't fucking play with me.
That's why you don't align yourselves with racists. He's a racist. That's why he's so okay.
I'm just happy that I was able. I'm just happy that I was able to be the one to make him show his true colors. Because the only part he left out was.
You think I'm a fucking joke?
Only part he left out was the black dude. Or.
All right.
Thank you for that. I will now question my witness. How are you doing, Mr. Denali?
Doing great. How's everybody?
Great, 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 great.
Judge, you're looking fabulous today. Just wanted to say that.
She is. So, Mr. Denali, on the day of, I'm sorry, I'll start from the beginning. Mr. Denali, you pride yourself in having the most inclusive show, correct?
Correct.
All right. Does your show have a mission statement?
It does.
And who created that mission statement?
It was myself and another one of our producers, One Live Mike.
Okay. In that mission statement, does it state that your show is the most inclusive?
Correct.
Okay.
Objection
Does
to
it
this line of question. Objection, Yana. You've already ruled. You've already ruled that the mission statement was not submitted, and the other things were not. Objection. I'm speaking. They were not submitted. You ruled them out, and now she's going over what you ruled out. Objection.
No, the
Um, Judge,
mission
I asked these same questions to Dr. Shea, and he had no objection.
statement, and you did. So objection overruled. And mind you, the mission statement was supposed to be submitted as evidence. She's not submitting a mission statement at this time. She is questioning the witness about the mission statement to his knowledge. I believe it is his mission statement. Have direct knowledge of the fact. So I will allow it. Objection overruled.
Thank you, Judge.
No.
Mr. Denali, do you believe that you have the authority to use discretion in your own space?
Yes.
Mr. Denali, who does the final decision on this show lie with?
Me. Myself.
Mr. Denali, can you explain why you created your TikTok panel
Uh,
and what was the purpose?
Yeah, I created because I thought that, I had something to say. I wanted to be a very inclusive, not exclusive space for people to come and share their thoughts, their opinions, and things like that. I always pride myself that we want to normalize healthy debate. We want to make sure we're respecting each other's experiences. And one of the hallmark things that we try very hard not to allow insults, because I think when you insult, you lose the argument and you really can't move the ball forward because people don't hear anything after the insult.
Okay. Mr. Denali, would you say that your panel is open to people from all races,
Yes.
social and political backgrounds?
Yes, social and political. Like we say, we're not Republicans versus Democrats. We're Republicans and Democrats. So we have socialists, neocons, libertarians, all political and ethnic ilk.
Mr. Denali, have you ever had to remove someone from your panel before for violating your rules?
Yes, unfortunately, Big Nick of the South, and of course, Sean.
Mr. Denali, can you explain the rule that led to Sean being banned?
Yeah, we want to have respectful dialogue so that people, as I think someone else has said, feel safe to come and don't fear that they're going to be badgered or victim shamed or shamed just for their opinions and their beliefs. This is a space for opinion. We try very hard to make sure we do have facts, and if someone is sharing their opinion, that they say it's their opinion. But I don't want people to be attacked for their opinions.
Have you ever made an exception to this rule based on someone's race, identity, or personal relationship to them?
Made an exception to being banned?
Yes.
No, I mean, listen, like I said, it's only been two people. I never thought I was going to have to ban people, but unfortunately, there were two incidents where I felt the need to ban. It's not a collective; it's my decision and it's my discretion.
Mr. Denali, how did you feel when Sean insulted you and called you a bitch?
Yeah, I don't curse people out generally. Has it happened? Yes, I'm human. I don't believe anybody has ever called me the B word before. That's the first time it's happened on the platform, and it was just, I think, completely and utterly out of line. I don't think I deserved it at all, and it was just bad form, in my opinion. And I took necessary action to make sure that kind of thing was not going to happen to me again.
Mr. Denali, does a person have the authority to disrespect someone just because they donate and support? Well, in your opinion, I'm
No,
sorry. Do they have the authority to disrespect someone just because they donate and support this page?
no, the show's not for sale. If you're supporting so you can do what you want to do, might not be the show for you. Support the show because you support the show and the ideals and the mission statement of normalizing healthy debate, as well as respecting each other's experiences, even if they're not our own. But if you're thinking you're going to get some kind of special treatment because you support, this might not be the show for you. I have been offered hundreds and at one time $1,000 to drop people off the platform, And I've said no because I want people to have a voice to say what they want to say as long as we don't do hate speech, misinformation, or insult.
Mr. Denali, is it mandatory that people donate to you or come to your
If you could repeat.
Mr. Denali, is it mandatory that when people come on your panel or on your page that they donate to you?
No, no obligation whatsoever.
Mr. Denali, Sean is claiming that his ban was based on race and prejudice. Can you clarify whether race played any role in your decision to ban him?
No, no, no. Race doesn't play a role at all. As a matter of fact, it's been a black gentleman and a white gentleman have been banned from the show.
So, Mr. Denali, you would acknowledge that you have the other person that you banned was from a different racial background um, from Sean.
Correct.
Do you believe that enforcing neutral rules, regardless of race, creates a more inclusive space or less inclusive
More
space?
inclusive. Inclusive.
Would allowing Sean to violate the rules without consequences be an example of, without banning others for such behavior, be an example of favoritism?
Listen, I think that you know, it would be a form of favoritism. It was, the whole thing with Sean. It was I guess it was building, building, building. He had been given many chances. It was a time when Sean would come on the show and he would take homework that we would give him and he'd come back and do his research and come back and maybe agree, maybe not agree. But it seemed as it was continuing to grow, it was less of that and more of the disruptions and things like that. And it's just like, well, what are we doing? We created things to teach people and things like that. And I think that was having less of an effect on Sean than it was at the beginning of his.
Objection. Opinion. Characterizing my client on by his opinion. Objection.
Objection sustained. You may ask another question.
So, Mr. Denali, you would you say that Sean has made violations in the past that he was warned about before this incident?
Yes.
So after banning Sean, did you ever contact him?
No. As a matter of fact, a couple days later, he sent me a message about he wanted his $2.69 for a subscription back. And I was like, please, come on, what are we doing?
Was there any reason you would have needed to interact with Sean after him being banned?
No. I mean, maybe if I saw him on another panel or something to that effect, but we have not had any contact.
Okay, and you stated, to your knowledge, who reached out first after Sean was banned?
Sean did. He sent me a message on my other page, XL, and asked for how would he get his $2.69 back. It was very pleasant.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection. Asked, answered, and repeated. Same thing.
I thought it was strange that he was asking for that money back.
Objection, Your Honor.
Objection
Thank
sustained.
you.
That's another question.
How did Mr. Denali, how did you respond when Sean messaged you about removing him from the subscriber list?
I ignored it because I felt it was a feeble attempt to get me to interact with him, and I wasn't going to do it.
Okay, Mr. Denali, months after being banned, many Sean got together with many people to organize a petition for his return. Do you believe?
Objection. Evidence on organizing. Objection. Show me evidence that Sean organized a petition.
I'll restate the question.
Okay, you may restate the question. Objection sustained.
Mr. Denali, so months after being banned, there was a petition that was organized by people that know Sean for his
Objection.
return.
Objection.
What's the objection?
The inference on people that know Sean is an assumption. It's not a fact.
That's a fact.
Objection.
Objection over.
Foundation and evidence.
Objection overruled. You may continue.
Mr. Denali, months after being banned, a petition was organized by people that know Sean on this panel. Do you
You
believe that a
believe that?
petition, I'm sorry, I got to echo. Do you believe that a petition should override your right to enforce your own rules?
No.
Mr. Denali, some people claim that banning someone contradicts the idea of inclusivity. How would you respond to that?
Yeah, I mean, we're inclusive, but we also have stated many, many times that we want to respect each other's experiences. We're going to normalize healthy debate. And in my opinion, insulting does not normalize healthy debate. It actually is against healthy debate because when you insult, people don't hear anything after the insult. We can speak on the policy, we can have disagreements on the policy, but the insults are something that really I try very, very hard not to allow happen. And especially insulting me, the host. Calling me a bitch was a bridge just way too far. It has not happened before. People have called me names, but that particular name right there is something that I just can't allow. For me.
Mr. Denali, would you say that in your own space, setting boundaries and enforcing rules is necessary to maintain a safe and inclusive space?
Absolutely, because I mean, without that, we have anarchy, and everybody's just doing whatever. So there has to be some guardrails to ensure that people feel safe in coming to the show and voicing their opinion, where they're not going to be attacked for their opinion or attacked for their pain that they may be sharing with us or their celebration. We want to make sure it's a safe space for people to enjoy themselves.
So, Mr. Denali, would you say allowing people to insult you and make you feel how Sean made you feel when he called you the bitch word
Objection.
without
Asked and answered. He's already answered this question.
Political charade or
Mr.
depending on
Mr. Benny has not heard my entire question to understand what question I am asking. So
You're asking him how he
could you
feel
allow
about
me to
the
say
insult.
my entire question before you interject?
Your Honor, she's asked him how you feel about the insult. He's fully explained how he feel about what was said to him, and she's back to asking him again the same question.
Would Mr. Benny like to ask my question since he knows all of them?
objection sustained. You did ask this question already. Can you
I didn't
please
even
ask?
finish my question.
Go
Now she's
ahead.
gonna argue with you.
Hey, Mr. Benny, you do not have the floor, and please do not take her time. You may proceed forward with the question reworded.
Mr. Denali, would you state that allowing someone to call you the bitch word without consequences be okay in your space?
No, especially someone who had been with me from the beginning. I never ever expected Sean to do something like that. He may interrupt and he may have his own opinions about race and things like that. But to call me Mr. Denali XXL, the bitch word, like I said, I think it was a bridge too far. And I can't allow those type of things to happen, especially from family members. If it's a drive-by, somebody who's just coming through and maybe we won't ever see them again, completely different than a family member doing that to me.
Mr. Denali, would you believe that it is important to uphold the rules even if you receive backlash from it?
Yes, I mean, that's what a leader does. I take the arrows at the front of the door to protect the family. I have to make sure that the integrity of the show is going forward. And I'm not going to let anybody, because as they said, no one is bigger than the show. No one, not even myself, as I was muted on my own show for 10 minutes and they didn't notice for 8 of the 10. And it taught me that no one is bigger than the show. And I have to protect it. I value it, so I protect it.
And Mr. Denali, if you had allowed Sean to stay after he had violated the rules, what message would that have sent to others who followed the rules?
It would have sent the message that it's okay to do that. It's okay to do that to me. The guy who's up there who had made the sacrifices for the show from the beginning. I've made many sacrifices for this platform. And like I said, I value it. I'm going to protect it with every fiber in my being.
And Mr. Denali, looking back on this situation, do you stand by your decision to ban Sean?
Absolutely 100%, 10 toes down on it. And that's just what it is. I don't make any apologies for it because I felt it was completely out of line what happened. And that's it. And, so yes, I stand on it.
Thank you, Mr. Denali. I'll let Mr. Benny cross-examine this witness.
All right, great.
Okay, thank you for that. You may now talk to the witness.
Good evening, Mr. Denali. We're going to jump right into this here.
Let's go.
You said a lot.
I said a lot of truth.
I said
a lot of truth.
Excuse me, sir. There's no
questions.
questions.
I said a lot of truth.
There's no questions on the floor. Could you ask Judge?
Statement. I was just rebutting your statement. I said a lot of truth.
Talk to the witness.
Order. Witness.
Yes.
Wait until you are addressed.
My apologies. Okay.
Answer questions.
Yes. Permission to address the witness. Yes.
I am speaking. I've asked you plenty of times, do not speak over me or interrupt me. You may now proceed forward.
Permission to treat the witness hostile, Your Honor. He's been warned several times, once by you. Here we are again with him doing it.
The witness. I have warned you, Mr.
No, you've also held the witness in contempt of court.
Forward with your examination of the witness for the sake of my time, your time, the courtroom's time, and especially the juror's time. Proceed forward with your question.
Let's go forward. Mr. Denali, you said that you yourself have made statements on this page. Am I correct?
Statements? What do you mean by statements? I speak every day. I speak every day, 6 days a week.
You yourself, let's make it specific and clear. You yourself have insulted individuals on this page. Am I correct?
No, I don't insult people. I talk on facts, sir.
Have you insulted me on this page, or should I pull up the tapes for you to go back and pull them up for the courts? Have you insulted anyone on this page, sir? You just said I made a couple mistakes here and there, but not that much. So what is the here and there?
Objection. This
what are you talking about? You made a statement that you yourself have messed up.
Mr. Benny is badgering the witness.
On the floor. I will caution you to move forward with caution, given the instructions and counsel I have given both of you, especially when I'm speaking or if there is an objection on the floor. Do not continue. Leave your personal vendettas out of this. This witness is not being questioned about you and him. This is about him and Sean and his platform. So your objection is sustained. You may ask another question.
Okay, your statement was group of people. These are your words. Group of people on my page. What have you witnessed? Have you witnessed differences on your page?
I don't understand the question.
Have you witnessed differences on your page?
Differences? You mean political differences? Yeah, absolutely.
No, I said differences. I didn't say political. I didn't say otherwise. I said differences.
You have to give me an example what you mean by differences. People have differences all the time. When you have people coming from all over the world.
Have you witnessed any differences on your page?
Yes, political.
Now, as a result of those differences, has my client been a part of them?
Yes.
Have you ever, you made a statement in reference to money, $1,000. Have you ever dropped anyone from your page for money?
Yes, one time we tried it out.
No, that's all I asked you, sir.
Well, I'm going
I
to
just
explain
asked
that
you,
I tried
sir,
it out
sir,
one time
sir,
with
excuse me,
Duke, and
sir.
then I
Your Honor,
did not
Your
allow
Honor,
it
this
anymore.
witness is just
Already answered.
unruly. I just asked
Objection.
a simple question.
Okay, what is your objection?
What is the
I asked,
relevance?
the witness made us.
The question has already been asked. The answer has already been given. Objection overruled. Mr. Benny, you may continue.
Okay, let's talk about the day in question that brought us all here. Where my client was called a racist. Have you ever heard anyone else on your page call someone else a racist?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever yourself clarified to many people that Mr. Sean is many things, but he's not a racist?
Yeah, I think that Sean can be racially insensitive.
Okay, but you've clarified that he's not a racist. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that he's racially insensitive.
So, okay, I'll go with that, racially insensitive. So at the time when Big T and Miss Seal brought that to you, did you inform them of that?
Did I inform them of that? We had a conversation about it. They told me he talked about neck bones for black people, and they were scared of height.
That's not what I asked you, sir. I asked you, did you inform them of what you just said?
Listen, I think it's something that happened before, but I don't know if it happened.
That's not what I asked you, sir. In that conversation, did you, sir, inform them at that time?
No, I'm saying it happened before, but in that day, I don't remember having that conversation because it was more, that particular day was a very heated day. They were very upset coming from BA's live because they felt that they met BA on my show and they went over there to support him. And they told me they felt that that was wrong for him to allow those type of words and statements on that page.
So let's talk about that day. When they came in and informed you of something that you didn't know anything about, you weren't on the page.
No, it was not.
So they brought it to you. And before, without going all over it, before you could get a hand on it, you allowed Ms. Seal in 3 tapes to address my client. Is that correct?
When you say 3 tapes, what do you mean?
The 3 videos that we heard was Ms. Seal, who said she didn't want to come up and speak, but then began to address my client of what he was, what he did, and how she felt. Am I correct?
Yeah, they were talking about it, and he was saying...
Excuse me. Did you not tell everyone to go on mute? You do not want her interrupted.
Objection. Can he asked the question
speak?
before the defendant before he can answer?
Clarification.
He
Because
he
Mr.
interrupted
Denali,
him without
he
answering the
he
question.
gave testimony that he did, or by the tapes, from what I heard, he did not want Ms. Seal interrupted.
Objection sustained.
So, did you allow Ms. Seal the stage in those 3 tests? The stage in those 3 tests, tapes, and allow her to speak.
Was that the same question you just asked?
No, it's not the same question because the purpose of the question is the
I
tape.
asked you, was that the same question?
Can we play the tape then? Can we play
Let me just say this to you again, Mr. Benny. When someone objects, you do not continue. What tape do you want to play, Mr. Benny?
I would like to play the tape of Ms. Seal and when Mr. Denali asked everyone to be quiet and allow Ms. Seal to speak, that he does not want her interrupted.
Objection. Relevance. Why do we need to replay that? What's the
Because
purpose?
of what? Because he cleared the stage and allowed Miss Hill to address my client directly.
Okay,
That's
so
what you do
that
on
is,
panels.
we heard that part. So what, what's your point?
My point is, I asked them about the stage that was set and how it was set, and she objected. And we're here.
Objection overruled. You may continue.
Mr. Denali.
I objected to him showing the tape again.
Now, she's not allowed to do that.
Objection overruled about the question. Objection sustained about the video. We heard it. We know it. You may continue.
Okay, thank you, Young.
Go ahead.
So, as entered into evidence, Mr. Denali, you were brought a conversation by two individuals of which you weren't a part on your page, and I ask you again, was Sean present when those two individuals brought you this conversation? Was Sean there to defend himself?
Well, if my memory serves me correctly, Big T was there. Sean was not there, and then he came in on the conversation that they were talking about what happened on the other show.
Okay, thank you for that honest testimony. So my client wasn't present while being talked about.
Well, initially no, but in the middle, yes, or maybe.
Okay, so he wasn't there for the full conversation. There was conversation prior to him coming.
Well, it was a reoccurring theme about the neck bones, about black people.
There was a prior conversation.
That black people didn't like to know how to swim.
Okay. All right, let me ask you this question. Was there a prior conversation?
Prosecution, please don't speak over each other. Witness, again, you are to answer questions, not debate the prosecution.
I thought I was answering. I'm sorry.
Not when he's asking it. Please allow the prosecution to ask the question, and then you may answer.
Is he allowed to interrupt my answer?
Your counsel will handle that.
Okay.
Your counsel.
I've stated that multiple times about him interjecting and allowing the witness to answer the question fully.
Mr.Benny, you may proceed.
Okay, Mr. Denali.
Yes.
Did you inform the individuals who brought you this information that they were incorrect in their assumption about my client?
Yeah, well, I think inside that conversation, they didn't call him a racist. They were saying he was saying some
That's
racist.
not what I asked you, sir. That's not what I asked you. I asked you, did you inform them that they were wrong about their assumptions?
What was the assumption?
That he's a racist. I believe our testimony here that's been made in front of you and on your page, Ms. Sill has made it very clear. She believes Sean, Miss Caroline, B.A.,
Objection.
and me
I don't know
are
if Mr.
racist.
Benny. I don't know if Mr. Benny heard the
He gave
video,
this
but I don't recall that
testimony,
in the video.
Objection sustained. You may ask another question.
Were you present when Ms. Sill took the stand?
Was I present?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you hear Ms. Sill call myself, Miss Caroline, B.A., and my client a racist?
Objection.
She testified to it.
Objection overruled. He's asking about a fact. Witness.
What's the question? He asked a lot of questions. I'm trying to figure out which one he wanted me to answer.
Did you hear or have you ever heard Ms. Sill call my client, Miss Carolyn or B.A., a racist on your page?
On that day?
Your Honor, may I, you want to step in?
I do not. I do not. Witness, please answer the question, or Mr.Benny, he asked you a specific clarifying question. Are you referring to that day?
He's not allowed to ask me a question. He has to answer
Objection.
my
Mr. Benny is
question.
Objection.
Judge. Mr. Benny is stating things that are off the record.
I
He's
asked
referring.
him a specific question,
Judge,
and
can I
he
finish
did
my
not give
statement?
me, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Benny is not
What kind
stating
of game is going
anything
on here?
pertaining to Mr. Benny is
Order.
not.
Order. Both of you approach the bench, please.
Yes.
Mr. Benny.
Mr. Benny is asking about something that is off the record. If he wants me to bring up that, if he wants Mr. Denali to bring up the incident that happened,
One moment. You have to be specific with your questions.
I
Mr.
was.
Benny, Kim, you asked the defense, has he heard or ever heard? He came back and asked you that day. Are you talking about that day? That is a valid question. So the defense will not do any type of perjury. He needs to know specifically what you're talking about so he can speak to that. So I will allow her objection. Political lead Cherie. What did you want to say now?
I was only stating that Mr. Benny is referring to off the record conversations that happened after Miss Seal testified. They are not permissible in court because that conversation was stated before that it was off the record. So anything in that period of time he cannot bring to this case.
So I will ask the jury to omit, and you are correct. So you two may now take your rightful position. I will ask the jury to strike and omit what you just heard, the last line of questioning.
In reference to what, Your Honor? These are testimonies that were made on stand.
That was not anything that we have heard. I was
He-
there for that off
It was
record.
part for testimony, Your Honor.
It was testimony, Your Honor.
It was
Part
not.
of the testimony. Yes,
was
it
part
It
of
was
was.
the
not.
Part of the
testimony.
It was
testimony.
not part of the testimony. Do
At
we?
this time, moving forward, at this time, Mr. Benny, please ask another question.
All right, let me ask this question. Mr. Denali, are you a liar? Have you ever lied?
In my life?
Have you ever lied?
In my life?
Have you ever lied? Ever?
In my life?
It's a yes
Yeah.
or no question, witness.
Yes, I have lied.
So you too, sir, then are a liar then. Am I correct by your testimony?
I guess if you're going to say one lie
All right,
makes
so
you a liar,
let's
I
move
don't
to the
know.
next
I think,
question.
have I ever lied in my life? Yes.
Next question, sir.
I'm saying in my life, I have lied.
You've answered that question already. You're a liar. Now let's move to the next question. Have you on your page heard individuals, both black and white, have the racial conversation?
Have I heard black and white people have a racial conversation? Yes.
Yes. The black, you racist. Black people don't understand this. Have you had this conversation on your page?
There have been racial conversations between everybody on the page, which includes all ethnicities.
Okay, so you're not strange to it. But you took a position with my client as a result of a personal comment. Am I correct?
What position on what?
You excluded him from your page. You violated his rights and took him because you stated you did not agree with the personal comment that he made towards you. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, yeah, I thought it was completely disrespectful, and we don't.
All right, well, let's talk about that.
Any insults that happened on the page, and he violated that.
Is there anyone else that you can think of that's made personal comments directly to you?
Not the BITCH word. I think that's in another category.
That's not what I asked you, sir. Have you had other people directly insult you?
Directly insult me by calling me a BITCH that your client.
That's not what I asked you, sir. And Your Honor, I wish you would admonish the witness to stay on track and to answer the question.
Objection. Mr. Denali is Mr. Benny is badgering the question. He is badgering the witness.
Objection overruled. It is a question that is simple, that the witness will indeed have knowledge of. Because this is his show, and the witness, you are now instructed to answer the question.
Okay.
Answer the question.
Oh, I mean, he got to repeat because he asked a lot of questions.
Your Honor, I really am. Well, I'll go to the question again. See, these are first and foremost the dramatics that's happening with the camera on. I like the camera to go off. The dramatics is too much. He's doing too much here, Your Honor, and he's disrespecting.
Objection. Mr. Denali has had his camera on the entire time.
He's not respecting the court. This is
Benny
not a
has had
game.
no problem for the
Your
last
Honor,
2 hours,
Your
but
Honor,
now
could
he
you
has a
please
problem.
stop?
Objection overruled. Mr. Denali,
Yes.
you are not to leave your camera. I'm not sure what you're doing. I'm not sure if you're texting. I'm not sure.
I don't have anything in my hands.
I'm not sure what's going on. You either turn off your camera or remain on camera at all times while you are being examined, sir. The choice is yours.
Okay.
Mr. Benny, you may proceed.
Now, may you ask the question, please, sir?
What's your question? Because you ask a lot.
Please restate your question.
Okay, Mr. Denali.
Yes.
The last thing stated was, you said, yes, you've lied, and you're a liar too. Now,
I'm a liar too. You said.
asked you about my client, sir. Now I ask you about my client. And I ask you about participation on your page. Has he been a participant on your page for quite some time?
Has he been a participant? What? What's that word?
Participant
yes,
on your page for quite some time.
Well, not for the last 6 months, but the first 6 months or so, yes.
Okay, why has he not been there?
He called me the BITCH word.
Okay, because of the personal attack on you, I'm correct?
Yeah, no one else has done that, and he was the first one to do it.
Okay, so I've never personally attacked you?
You never called me the BITCH word.
That's not what I asked you.
Well, what do you mean?
Have I ever personally attacked you?
Yeah, you said that I paid $1,000 to have sex with men.
Was I blocked?
No, I explained why you were not blocked.
What? Well, Dr. Shea has testified that she herself called you in the text of very large letters, the BITCH words. Was she blocked?
Well, I've never seen that. So no one has ever said it to me.
So you're telling me on this exclusive page with one of your hosts, one of the individuals that helped build this page with you, put something in the comment, and your testimony today is on that day you didn't see it.
Well, I don't see all the comments. That's been a running joke on the show.
That's not my question. With the situation, is it your testimony? You just simply didn't see it.
I never have seen anyone call me a BITCH or has said anybody said to me that.
I can move on. I'll move on then, sir. My next question to you, has anybody else that worked for you been insulted while working for you?
Has anyone has worked for me been insulted?
While working with you?
I guess people have been insulted. I mean, I'm trying to think of something specific.
No, I just want to know if, in your opinion...
I'm sure it's happened, sir. I mean, yeah, I'm sure it's happened.
Has any of those people been blocked for insulting the people who work for you?
Have any of the people? Yes.
Okay, the one person we know of, which is Nick, okay. But that was personal too, because he personally attacked you as well. Am I correct?
Objection. Mr. Benny is making speculation.
He's already stated that Nick was blocked. He's already made that statement.
Yeah.
Objection overruled.
So Nick got out of line, broke a rule, and personally attacked you, and he got blocked. Am I correct?
He wasn't blocked for personally attacking me.
Well, he got blocked for what he did or said. Am I correct?
He wasn't towards me, though.
He got blocked for what he did or said. Am I correct?
Not to me, though.
Whatever it was, he got blocked for what he did or said.
No question, witness. Please answer the question.
He got blocked, but not for what he did to me.
That's not what I asked you, sir. I asked you, did he get blocked for what he did or what he said?
To me?
No, Your Honor. Maybe you want to ask him the question because he seems to not. I asked you a simple question,
Yes.
sir.
I think its
Did
answer is
he
yes.
get blocked for
Yes,
what
he
he
got
did
blocked.
or said?
He got blocked.
Your Honor, this witness is really being hostile. He's not answering questions
Mr. Benny is
anyway.
being just as hostile,
I'm
if
speaking
not
to
more.
the
Mr. Benny,
judge.
I have some questions. You want to take a break?
Go ahead, BA. If I
Yeah,
may,
let me.
I'm going to
Yeah,
step
why don't you
down, Your
take?
Honor. And
How long is
No,
this
just
cross?
You
I'm
guys gonna
confused
tag team me
here.
now? Let's go.
Yeah, how long is this
Okay.
cross examination?
I,
Mr. Benny has been asking
well,
Mr.
what is
Denali
this,
well.
questions
Your
for a
I have.
whole
Honor?
hour,
Well,
What
and
is
then
I have the
now
this?
right. I have, sir.
we
This
have
is
his
ridiculous.
co-counsel
Ma'am. I have the right.
interjecting.
I have the right to be able to
Somebody's
question
life
the
was
witness.
affected.
Mr. Benny has been badgering.
Somebody's life
I'm
was
not going to
affected.
badger the witness,
Order,
ma'am. I
order,
just thought.
order, order. We're not gonna do that. Not at all. Mr. Benny,
Yes, Your Honor.
your co-counsel.
I'm going to refer to my co-consular Honor, bring the temperature down, and I'm just going mute, Your Honor.
2 minutes. I'll give you 3 minutes.
I just have some simple questions. How you doing, Mr. Denali?
I'm doing great.
I noticed it got a little heated, so I figured I might just take over a couple of questions here I have for you. You are familiar with the day in questioning with Mrs. Seal regarding what she brought over from my platform to this platform, and in the conversation that proceeded after that with you allowing her to speak and telling Sean to stay on mute until she was finished. Would that be correct?
I am aware of that day.
Okay, so is it common practice for you to allow people on the platform to be so aggressively attacked and just not being able to respond?
Is it? Wait, is it what, sir? You can repeat that. I'm sorry.
Is it common practice for you to allow people to attack someone's character the way Miss Seal was to Sean and not be able to respond?
We try to allow, if we're going to have a one-on-one debate, let someone speak, and then they'll have the opportunity to rebut. We try not to have sentences touch each other. That's why sometimes it's necessary to, hey, go on mute, let someone say something uninterrupted, and then you'll get the opportunity to speak.
Great. Now, a debate, someone debating a certain subject, it's not one's character. So in that specific day, she was referring to Sean's character, implying that he was a racist and attacking him kind of viciously, I would say. So that's what I'm asking you, sir. Is that common on your platform?
Objection. I'm trying to figure out what the relevance is here, Mr.
The relevance is the way Sean responded, ma'am.
BA is stating that Sean didn't have the ability to respond, but Sean is clearly on the videos responding.
Objection overruled. You may continue.
Sir, can you answer the question, please?
Can you repeat it?
Is it common knowledge for you to allow this type of bashing of one of your family members in such an aggressive manner and with racial contents and not let someone respond?
Yeah, I don't think that she was bashing him. She was speaking to what he was saying on the other show about the neck bones not being able to fly because you're black and all kind of things. She was speaking to that.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's been for the record stated that calling somebody a racist from several different witnesses, it's as bad as calling someone the N-word, or several witnesses that came up here and stated
That is
ma'am,
relevance. That's an opinion.
no, it's not. It's fact. It's fact, ma'am, because the witnesses testified against it.
Objection sustained, and the time for the time for co-counsel to examine the witness is now over.
Are you serious?
I can go a little
Okay.
more. I'm ready. Let's go. Mr. Denali's ready to go.
Mr. Denali, be quiet, please.
Statements, Your Honor. What is this? Like, what is this?
Okay,
Kangaroo court?
thank you, Your Honor. Thank
Excuse
you.
me,
I appreciate your time.
Like he's already been held in contempt, and he's still making statements. Which someone would check the witness. He's just out of order.
He was stating that he would allow or doesn't mind your co-counsel continuing.
Right.
So I think he was doing that in
Comments.
I think that we've been here long enough with Mr. Benny has questioned,
That's
Mr.
what I
Benny
think.
has
I
questioned
think
Mr. Denali.
it's
His
starting to feel like
co-counsel has
department
questioned him. We've been here for an
Like this
hour,
is crazy. You just
Order.
letting the
and they've
Order.
only asked continuous the same questions.
Where's
I
my
have one more question, if that's allowed,
order?
and then I'm done.
Order.
Let's go, because I don't like Mr. Benny anyway. So come on.
Order.
Let's go.
Denali, shut the hell up.
Here's the
BA
thing.
BA had a time limit, and
And the
that
judge
time
has
limit has
nothing to say
expired.
about the comment out of his mouth about who he likes.
Order. Order.
Anything to say, Your Honor?
This is why we should not continue, because you all cannot hold yourself to the level of decorum that is required and demanded in this courtroom.
That's probably because the court's
I
not
think I've held
Order.
myself in contempt.
not respected.
This is it. This is it.
Yeah, you can mute people too, Miss Candy.
Mr. Benny and his co-counsel are very hostile. They need to be held in contempt.
For the
Ma'am, I haven't said anything disrespectful. How would I be held in contempt?
That's it. Okay, that's it. Here's what we're gonna do, Mr. Benny. You're done examining this witness.
Yes, I'm pretty much.
Great. That's all I needed to know. That's all I need.
Your Honor. Your Honor.
Can I get a chance to
You just
direct?
asked
Mr. Benny
me.
just keeps talking.
You just asked me.
Okay, you may redirect. It's now time
This
to
is
redirect.
weird. This is
Thank
so
you.
weird.
Thank you, Judge.
I never got to deal with this shit.
Me,
It's weird.
Mr. Benny.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not on mute.
Oh yeah, you're not on mute. I think it was intentional. If I was a real judge, I would have threw you out. Because now you disrespecting me, my judgment in the court.
Some of that would have been given to each and
I
every.
wish you
Barely
would
here.
stop
Barely is the
interrupting
comment.
and interjecting.
Barely, Your Honor. You have not been fair, Your Honor. And I can say that.
Benny, just keep it for the closing statement.
Okay,
That's all.
so you now, co-counsel, will continue with this case.
Judge, Your Honor.
Contempt, he is now out, but I will continue the case. It is now time to redirect.
Yes, Judge. Thank you. Mr. Denali,
Yes.
when you agreed to testify, did you did you swear an oath to tell the truth, the whole truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I did.
Have you lied on this stand today?
No.
We just want to be clear about that. Mr. Denali, during the 3 videos that was presented before your testimony here today, do you recall Miss Seal calling Sean a racist?
No.
Mr. Denali, is Miss Seal on trial here?
No.
Okay. Mr. Denali, in your testimony, Mr. Benny stated something about what was said in the comment section of your show. Do you always look at the comment section of your show?
No, I don't. It's a running joke that I don't always see comments.
Okay. And let's just make some things clear here, Mr. Denali. Was race a factor in your decision to ban Sean, or was it solely based on the violation of your panel's rules?
Objection, Your Honor.
What is
It's
your
already
objection?
it's already been stated.
These
it
are
was a
redirecting
factor.
questions. These are redirection.
It's still an objection. It's already been stated several times by almost every witness.
That's what redirect is. I'm sorry that BA doesn't know what a
play.
redirect is.
Ma'am,
He probably
you
should have
don't have to
studied
be-
what
You don't have to be
How
that
disrespectful,
works.
ma'am. You don't have to be disrespectful.
Objection sustained. You may ask your witness another question.
Mr. Denali, in your opinion, why was Sean banned?
For the disrespectful behavior, especially towards me, calling me the BITCH, that had never happened before to me. And I thought it was, like I said, a bridge too far, and he should not have done it.
Mr. Denali, would you have banned anyone else, regardless of their race, if they had used the same insulting language?
Yeah, especially if it was a family member. You know, maybe somebody was just coming through as a drive-by, not here all the time. But I just was very offended by someone who was here all the time, who I considered a brother. I called a brother to call me a bitch.
Mr. Denali, after banning Sean, did you contact him in any way or attempt to interfere in his activity on TikTok?
No.
Mr. Denali, Sean accused you of stalking, but wasn't it actually Sean who reached out to you after the ban and later, and was there a petition to reinstate him afterwards?
Yes, he did reach out to me asking me for $2.69 back, and yes, there was a petition to try to reinstate him.
Mr. Denali, as a
Your Honor,
content
I'm not
creator,
allowed to
I didn't hear
object during her
objection.
reverse. No, I'm just you make the statement that I'm not allowed to object during your.
That was not my statement. I was
That
saying
was
that
exactly
I
your
had
statement.
redirecting questions.
Ma'am,
It's not
I'm asking a judge.
If he doesn't have an objection, he's interfering with my time.
Exactly. If you are not objecting, then why are you speaking?
Because I wasn't clear on the last objection.
You know.
She interrupted it. No, she told me I couldn't. She actually told me to go look it up.
We're not doing that.
Simply asking.
Proceed forward with questioning.
That's fine.
You know, I will say this.
I was asking a simple question.
Constitution, your behavior today in court, all of y'all behavior today in court.
I haven't said one thing in court. What do you mean my behavior?
Your behavior, as well as everyone else's, your main counsel, the defense, the witnesses, is so out of order today.
With all due respect, Your Honor, I haven't said two words this whole time.
You should not be talking to me. I am talking to you. The remainder of this time, have some sort of decorum and professionalism, because it doesn't look good that you are the prosecution behaving this way, nor the defense behaving this way. I only ask of you order and decorum and respect for the courtroom, the jurors, and everyone else that is witnessing this case. Do that, please. Politically Cherie, the defense, I'll give you 1 more minute.
Thank you.
Go ahead and ask your final question.
Thank you. I have 2 questions. It should be very short. Mr. Denali, as a content creator, do you have the right to decide who participates in your space and who enforces the rules that you set?
Absolutely.
Mr. Denali, looking back at the situation, do you stand by your decision to ban Shine, and why?
I stand by my decision because, like I said, I would never expected a family member to call me that horrible word. And listen, at the same time as me running the show, my name is on the banner. I have to decide what is in the best interest of the show. And disrespectful behavior from a family member or anybody else, especially towards